I don't think you're actually scared of approaching women. I think you're just too much of a perfectionist, and that is what's holding you back from actually approaching women and having the dating life that you want. I spent a lot of my life being, a perfectionist when it comes to social expression, especially when I talk to women. I felt like you needed to be like this perfect Chad, this perfect like pickup artist, like seduction guy. And I spent so much effort and energy trying to be perfect, and it never really got me results, honestly. At a certain point, I would start approaching women because I got tired of the dating apps, and I was just forcing myself to approach women. And I realized that imperfectionism is actually where I got the most results. When I sort of dropped my worries about like putting on this perfect persona, and I was just like, dude, fuck it. I'm tired of worrying about all that stuff. I'm just gonna walk up to this girl and see what happens. And I'm honestly so tired of like worrying. And that's kind of the point you need to get to where you're like tired of worrying and you're like, dude, I can't worry all my life. I just got to go do what I want to do. So I started doing that. I started just approaching women with my authentic, honest self. I wasn't trying to be perfect and be cool or whatever. I would just walk up to girls and be like, hey, excuse me, this is random, but I thought you were cute. I wanted to come say hi. I would just be totally honest about it.
All right, this is random. I was just walking by. I'm about to meet a friend, but you look very cute. I wanted to say what's up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Hi, it's random. You're very cute. I just want to say hi real quick. What's up? What are you up to?
Just going to visit the city.
Okay, where are you from?
France, Paris.
France. Okay, I thought you were like maybe South American or something.
Oh, not at
No,
all.
okay, not at all. I realized that, those approaches would always lead to the best conversations. And then those conversations would lead to dates, and those dates would lead to sex and, relationships even. Like I'm in a relationship right now with a girl that I approached. We've been in a relationship for 2 years already. So this works, you know what I mean? And I realized like I myself as a man, I've become so much more grounded in myself because I've dropped the charade. I stopped giving a fuck about like being perfect or being cool, and life just became more enjoyable for me. Honestly, like I walk around and I feel really good with who I am. And this wasn't always the case, but at some point I just dropped the charade. I stopped trying to be cool, and I would just express myself with honesty and vulnerability, and I would just be raw in who I was. And over time I realized that like nothing bad would ever happen out of it. Like if I think the issue that a lot of guys have is that like they feel like if they're vulnerable and honest about who they are and they get rejected, that's like a direct rejection into like who they are. And that feels really bad because it's like I expressed myself, I was vulnerable about who I was, and I got rejected. So that must mean that like I as a person am a failure. But honestly, rejection isn't that bad. You getting rejected, being yourself, actually helps you become a better human being because you realize that, okay, I'm filtering out people that aren't meant for me in the first place. Like women that reject you for who you are as a human being, like authentically, they were never meant for you in the first place. And if you want to imagine, just like pretend, you have that abundant dating life and you have that dream girl likes you for who you are authentically, not some fake version of yourself. So why spend so much energy trying to be perfect and trying to be cool and building up this like persona when your dream girl isn't even going to like you for that? And then you know what I mean? Like you're kind of doing yourself a disservice by not just authentically being yourself, and walking up to girls just with honesty, like, hey, I thought you were cute, want to say what's up, right? But it's like, okay, once you actually start approaching women, how do you do it? How do you get over that nervous feeling of, I got to be perfect, I got to make sure that I'm smooth in this conversation? If I can go back in time and give myself a framework, I would call it the honest approach framework, and I'm about to teach it to you right now. So step number one is when you see a girl that you like and you want to go talk to her, and you obviously have that like nervous energy inside of you, you're anxious, you're trying to predict everything. What I recommend doing, well, this honestly isn't even a recommendation, like this is the only thing that you should be doing. First of all, look inward and embrace the nervous energy. Tell yourself that it's okay to be nervous. This is a normal human feeling. It's a normal human feeling. It's totally okay. It's totally natural for you to feel anxious and nervous when you see a cute girl. Okay, most guys don't have the confidence to ever approach women. All right, you're actually watching this video, which means you're interested in it, and I'm pretty confident that you're going to end up doing this at some point in your life. hopefully sooner rather than later. Just follow these steps and you're going to be way further ahead than you are right now. So again, embrace the nervous energy and tell yourself that it's okay to be nervous, and that takes the pressure off of the interaction, because instead of you being nervous and then being like, okay, like my happiness depends on the outcome of this interaction, right? So like I'm nervous, what if this goes badly? And then you end up like you're already putting too much pressure on the interaction. So just telling yourself like, all right, I'm normal, this is okay to be feeling this way. You're internally validating yourself rather than putting pressure on the outcome of this interaction, which is kind of external validation, right? You're kind of seeking at that point her liking you to make you feel good and to make you feel normal. When you feel anxious and nervous, you have to be the one to make yourself feel okay and feel normal. You shouldn't be relying on other people to make you feel that way. So it's the same thing with approaching women. Like so many guys are afraid of rejection because a rejection from a girl that they like to get to a nervous guy means that, they're broken, that like they're socially broken, they're just awkward and they're going to be awkward forever. When in reality, rejection is totally normal. Okay? It happens all the time. I get rejected quite often when I make these videos.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd love to grab a coffee or something if you're.
I'm married.
Okay, well, nice. Well, enjoy your marriage.
Thank you.
Enjoy hanging out with your friend. See ya.
So it's not about you, okay? But again, that nervous feeling, it's not going to go away. Even I still get nervous when I walk up to women and, when I'm filming content for this channel. So that nervous feeling never really goes away. What does make it feel easier is your own interpretation of it, where you're like, okay, I'm nervous. That's fine. I'm not going to let it get in the way of me walking up to this girl, okay? And over time, you're going to approach women. You're going to just realize that like the outcome isn't so severe as you think. Like the worst possible case scenario for a rejection isn't really as bad as you think it's going to be. It never feels as bad as in your head you think it's going to feel. Okay? So step number 2 is walk up to her as quick as possible, dude. Okay? Please just walk up to her as soon as possible. Tell yourself that it's okay to be nervous and then just walk up to her as soon as you can. The more time in between, like, you seeing her and then you actually walking up to her and saying hi, the more time there is in between that, that's just a room for your thoughts and your insecurities to start creeping up on you. Your head is trying to tell you, like, don't do it, man. Like, there's people watching. You're going to start thinking about all these, like, fucking bullshit excuses. Just the quicker you just start walking over to her, the better. Step number 3 is give her context. So you have to remember that for a woman who's just, going about her day, she doesn't even realize that you're there, right? She doesn't even realize or know who you are until you walk up to her. So you kind of have to give her context about why you're talking to her. And what I mean by that is just being honest, being direct, being straightforward, vulnerable, authentic, whatever, how many synonyms I could say. Just say, hey, excuse me, this is random, but I thought you were cute. I wanted to come say hi real quick. Here's a couple examples of what I mean.
Hi, this is random. I was just walking by. I'm about to meet a friend, but you look very cute. I wanted to say what's up.
Thank you.
Yeah. Excuse me. Hi, this is random. I was across the street and I saw you. I thought you were really cute. I just wanted to say hi.
Thank you. That's
Yeah. I dodged traffic to come say hi to you. Excuse me. Hi. This is random, but you're very cute. I wanted to come say hi real quick.
From her perspective, like if she's walking on the street, especially if she's on the sidewalk, right? Like if you're on the sidewalk and you're approaching a woman or at a park or whatever, somewhere outdoors. But even if you're at a cafe or a bookstore or whatever, you want to give her context about who you are and why you're talking to her. Imagine you are on the sidewalk and somebody walks up to you. Your first thought is probably that they're a homeless person asking you for money. Okay, that's probably your first thought. It's the same thing for women, except it's like ×5, where it's like, okay, this might be a homeless person. This might be like a crazy guy trying to fucking follow me. Like, who is this guy? Why is this guy talking to me? Could just be a sales guy trying to get your signature on something, right? Like one of those petition people. It could be anybody, right? But the first thought isn't necessarily going to be, oh, this guy's talking to me because he thinks I'm cute. You have to be the one that actually says that. So giving her the context of why you're talking to her immediately gets you both on the same page. And it kind of puts both of you at ease because you're not hiding anything, right? You're being honest about it. And she's also understanding, like, okay, cool. Like, this guy wants to talk to me because he thinks I'm cute. And that's it. Like, that's the whole point of the conversation. She knows. The next step is just have simple small talk, man. Don't try to overcomplicate things with like pickup artist bullshit. Just have a simple small talk type of conversation. Ask her questions about what she's up to. I always like to just ask, like, what are you up to right now? As soon as I say like, hey, what, I think you're cute, whatever, all that opening line stuff, my first actual question is usually, what are you up to right now? Just because, I want to kind of stay in the moment. I want to get an idea of who she is. And asking what are you up to is a very casual thing. It's as if you were a friend already, right? Like that's something that you would ask a friend of yours if you call them up on your phone, like, hey, what are you up to right now? So kind of acting like you already know her is pretty nice, honestly. It makes the conversation just feel very friendly and casual.
Hey, excuse me. Hi. Saw you from across the street and I thought you were really cute. I
Oh,
wanted to
thank
say what's
you.
up. Yeah, I love your hair.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, what are you up to today?
Walking, museum, probably.
Ooh, okay. Just
Yeah.
solo walking museum
Yeah.
day for you?
Yeah, just
Nice.
walking museum day.
That's awesome. Just like
Thanks.
by yourself.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool that you could just like hang out by yourself. You don't have to,
Yeah.
just like, independent.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
fun that way.
It is fun. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to,
Yeah.
What are you up to?
Just going to visit the city.
Okay. Where are you from?
France, Paris.
France. Okay. I thought you were like maybe South American or something.
Oh, not
No.
almost.
Okay. Not at all. No, very far from that. Cool. You're just visiting DC then?
Yes.
Nice.
For the day.
Oh, only for the way. Where do you live normally then?
I'm on a business trip.
Uh-huh.
I'm just here for the day.
So a one-day business trip from
No,
France
it's a
to.
business trip.
Okay.
Staying here in this area. Just
Oh,
for a day.
okay, okay. Nice.
It also opens up other conversation sort of pathways, right? She's gonna say, "Oh, I'm, going to the store. I'm getting a book from here. I'm, walking to meet a friend or whatever," right? That immediately like opens up different conversation topics, and you could ask more questions about what she's doing. You could tell her about what you're doing, right? Maybe she's reading a book, and you could talk about the book that she's reading.
Oh yeah. What are you reading? I don't want to
Oh,
keep you
that's
from.
fine. It's my sister told me to. It's
Uh,
like the new yellow one.
Okay. Red flag.
No,
That was
it's
fine.
I know it's like it's very cringy. I'm like I need a Kindle so no one can see.
A lot of guys think that they need to have this like perfect conversation and they need to like escalate perfectly and they need to like seduce the girl or whatever. Honestly, what I've realized is that by saying, "Hey, I think you're cute. I wanted to come say hi," you've already escalated the conversation. So it's not so much about like smoothly escalating it, perfectly and then asking for her number and she's all like, "Wow, this guy's so fucking hot," or whatever. Don't do that. That's just overcomplicating it, honestly. You saying, "Hey, I think you're cute. I wanted to come say hi," that already escalates it because she knows that you're talking to her for like a romantic reason, kind of, right? Like you like her, you're attracted to her. And women are honestly pretty refreshed by this, okay? I've had tons of women tell me, like, "Hey, this is cool that you're doing this. Like, most guys don't do this anymore. Like, men don't do this anymore. Like, more people should be doing this, like walking up to each other like this. This is cool." So, women are also tired of the dating apps. By the way, a lot of women don't even use dating apps. This is something that I've realized in, my time approaching women and escaping the dating app reality is that there's a lot of really, really amazing women that don't even use dating apps. And they're honestly, in my opinion, and I don't want to offend anybody because I have friends that met their girlfriends on dating apps and whatnot. But in my opinion, the women that you meet through cold approaching are of higher quality than the women you'll meet on dating apps because a lot of women aren't even on dating apps. So the only way that you're going to meet them is by approaching them because you're not going to meet them on the dating apps, okay? And the women on dating apps, they're kind of boring in my opinion. They're the type of women that just like watch TV all the time. They swipe on their phone or whatever. They're just like, on Tinder while, Game of Thrones is on in the background or whatever. Women that don't use dating apps and never have downloaded dating apps in their life, they tend to have like hobbies. They're more into like self-improvement and, not, spending so much time on their screens. Like they're aware that that's not good for you. They fill their time with like interesting hobbies and things like that. So in my opinion, the women that you'll meet by approaching are pretty fucking cool and you should just approach because you're going to meet cooler women that way. It also kind of opens up your perspective because you right now, like if you've had a lot of like failure with dating apps, you might think like, your dating life is just going to be bad forever because you're not matching with women on dating apps and that like that's the only way to meet women. But it's really not. Like that's just one of the few ways to meet women. And you could approach women on the street and they're actually like better. And if you don't like dating apps, there's also women that also don't like dating apps. Okay? So it's not like you being bad at dating apps means that you're never going to get a girlfriend. It just means that like those girls on dating apps aren't meant for you, which is good news because you're going to meet a lot of really high quality women in real life. You know what I mean? I have a community, by the way. It's called Natural Confidence Lab. The link is down below if you want to check that out. The whole purpose of it is for men who want to delete their dating apps and start approaching women in real life. Reduce your screen time. Don't use the fucking dating apps anymore. Stop watching videos like this on YouTube and actually take that leap to, instead of consuming content about approaching, you actually start approaching women. But the thing is, when you stop watching the content and you actually start going out there into your real life and approaching women that you actually see in real life, it can be kind of lonely because a lot of guys, they don't have friends to do this with, right? It doesn't mean you don't have friends necessarily, but it just means that you don't have friends that are interested in developing themselves in this way. That's what it was for me. I was a guy, I had like 4 or 5 friends that I called my best friends, but none of them were really interested in developing confidence with women like this. They were just okay with having like mediocre dating lives, like just sort of swiping on dating apps and just seeing what happens. I was not okay with that. I wanted to actually approach women and have like a fun, abundant dating life and just become more confident in myself as a man. But I couldn't rely on them to, go out there with me and start doing this. I did it anyways, but it was kind of lonely. And that's why I created this community for guys like you who want to go do this, but you don't really have the friend group to go out there and do this with. And all those lonely feelings that you'll inevitably feel from going out there and approaching women, getting rejected, all that stuff, maybe feeling anxious. Maybe you pussy out a couple times and you feel bad about it. You feel like you're a failure or whatever. All those negative feelings that you get, you won't have to go through them alone. You could just post about it in the community. You could talk about it. I'm there. I respond to every post with a personal video. There's other guys in that community that are going through the same exact transformation as you are. So I highly recommend that if you're actually interested in deleting the dating apps and going out there, approaching women in real life, having a fun dating life, I highly recommend the next natural step for you is to join Natural Confidence Lab. The link is down below. Overall, the big takeaway here is perfectionism is what is holding you back from having a fun dating life and just being socially free. Stop trying to be flawless. Just fucking embrace the idea that human interaction is not meant to be perfect. I fucking coined that term. That is my phrase. That is my quote. So if you write it down somewhere, fucking put my name underneath. Once you start being yourself, dating gets really fun because you're going to start getting results out of it and you're going to be like, fuck, I'm a pretty cool fucking guy. This is cool. Like, there's enough women out here for me. And every single guy watching this can feel that way. I promise you, no matter how you look, no matter how you feel right now, everybody watching this can achieve that same feeling. So that's it, guys. I'll see you next time.